African elephant. The African elephant is the largest land mammal and one of the most iconic animals in the world. No one who comes face to face with an African elephant in the wild can fail to be awed by its enormous size, raw power, charismatic presence, and sheer majesty. The fact that such a creature even exists should be a source of awe. The fact that its future is threatened should be a wake-up call for us all. Forest elephants were once classified as a rarer subspecies of the African elephant, but experts argued that they should be considered a separate species. They have now been officially split. As their names suggest, savannah and forest elephants prefer very different habitats, but there are also clear physical differences between them. African forest elephants are shorter and less bulky than savannah elephants. They have smaller ears, straighter, downward-pointing tusks, and darker skin. The elephant's trunk is a feature so familiar that we take it for granted, but it is one of the wonders of the natural world. This handy tool can pick up a peanut or uproot a tree. It is a keen nose, a suction pump, an electric shower head, a retractable arm, a snorkel, a trumpet, a fly swatter, and a lethal weapon all rolled into one. Elephants have poor eyesight, but their sense of smell is 3 times more acute than that of a hunting dog. They can sniff out food and water from miles away. The huge ears of savannah elephants help keep them from overheating in high temperatures. They act like giant fans as they flap and release heat through a vast network of blood vessels near the skin. The tusks that make elephants prime targets for ivory poachers are actually large incisors that protrude from their upper jaws. Elephants use them to dig for water and minerals, strip bark from trees, lift and move heavy objects, protect their trunks, and defend themselves. African elephants have brains 3 times larger than humans, have excellent memories, and have cognitive abilities on par with chimpanzees and dolphins. They show empathy and even bury and mourn their dead. African elephants can consume up to 300 kilograms of food per day. They also eat salt to neutralize toxins in leaves and bark. Elephants have a varied vegetarian diet that includes leaves, shoots, bark, grasses, fruits, and seeds, but they have specific likes and dislikes. As such, elephants have a huge influence on which plants dominate, disperse, or disappear in local ecosystems. African elephants have a significant physical impact on their environment. They create wide paths, widen water holes, plow the soil, and create caves as they dig for salt. As such, they are all keystone species. In particular, African forest elephants play an important role as seed dispersers and forest gardeners. They also help combat climate change. Foraging in herds, they trample or consume large numbers of saplings and smaller trees. By thinning out vegetation, they promote the growth of larger trees, which capture and store the greatest amount of carbon. Savannah elephants prefer grasslands, deserts, and other open landscapes. Their main strongholds are in southern and eastern Africa, but populations persist in more than 20 countries. Forest elephants live in dense tropical forests in Central Africa and more forested habitats in West Africa. The ranges of the 2 African elephant species rarely overlap, but both are known to occur in countries including South Sudan. Less than 50 years ago, there were more than 1 million elephants in Africa. This includes both savannah and forest elephants. Today, there are only about 350,000 savannah elephants left. Obviously, forest elephants are much harder to count, but their numbers have dropped by an astonishing 86% in just 30 years. With the exception of a pride of lions famous for killing elephants, adult African elephants have no natural predators. The only threats they face are those related to humans. Traditionally, the main cause of the decline of African elephants has been ivory poaching. While this remains a threat, other problems have emerged due to the rapid growth of the human population. The ivory trade has historically taken a heavy toll on African elephants, leading to their extinction in many parts of the continent. Today, African elephants are hunted for their meat as well as their ivory, particularly in West and Central Africa, where the commercial bushmeat trade has boomed in recent years. African elephants and humans increasingly compete for space. Urban expansion, agricultural conversion, and mining activities are destroying and degrading elephant habitat. In arid regions, elephants face competition from domestic livestock for food and water. In West and Central Africa, habitat loss and fragmentation are affecting the traditional refuges and migratory routes of forest elephants, forcing them to venture out of their shrinking forest habitats. Increased contact between elephants and humans is leading to conflicts that can be deadly for both parties. Crop destruction and other property damage can lead to retaliatory killings. Elephants outside their natural habitat can also fall victim to opportunistic poaching.